Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Jeff and Jeremy here, 904, online at kzoz.com. Don't forget, we got $20 coming up to Federico's later if you know the show. Federico's downtown San Luis Obispo, bringing the Aloha spirit to Slowtown.
We were having a conversation in a sitcom discussion off the air about cartoons and whether or not cartoons apply, whether it be Jetsons or Flintstones or Simpsons or Family Guy, Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill. Are those situational comedies?
I think some of those are. I don't think all of those are. And I think they're very different shows. I mean, you take Beavis and Butthead and Family Guy and even The Simpsons, and you compare it to the Flintstones or the Jetsons or Scooby-Doo, and you're like, well, those are completely different. The context of those shows are completely different.
What's the definition
I would
of
say
situational comedy?
I would also say that that Family Guy, for example, and probably Beavis and Butthead, are not really rated for all audiences where the other shows are.
I would say King of the Hill is not rated for all audiences.
Exactly. King of the Hill is another.
South Park.
South Park, yes. Okay, yeah, the obvious one, right? But I would put Family Guy, South Park, King of the Hill, those three definitely in a category that's at least PG-13, I would think.
Does it have to be family friendly?
Remember the episode where they use crack for fishing?
I don't know. No, what was that? Was that King of the Hill?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched a lot of King of the Hill, but
I'm not entirely sure though that just because it's a cartoon, because it's a cartoon, it sucks kids in, right? Because cartoons suck kids in, but then we have to be on guard when it comes to Family Guy and South Park.
King of the Hill.
But I'm not entirely sure that King of the Hill is any worse than Everybody Loves Raymond. Like, I will sit down and watch, and Everybody Loves Raymond on the surface comes across as family in everyday America, right? With funny writing, great writing. But you sit down and you watch episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond with kids in the room, and it's nearly impossible. Especially when they get to that age of like 5, 6, 7, when they start asking questions about why that was so funny, because there's a laugh track on Everybody Loves Raymond. And you're like, because so much on Everybody Loves Raymond, you don't realize it until you have kids, has to deal with sexual themes. Like every episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, he's complaining about not getting enough sex.
Right.
Every single episode. So it is a tough one to watch. In fact, it was like for a long time it was my kid's favorite sitcom. And I'm like, yeah, cool, I can get on board with this because I like to watch it too. And then I started realizing, man, this is wildly inappropriate for kids in the room, and we had to pivot. The Office is more appropriate in its subject matter than Everybody Loves Raymond for a family in the room. So you have to take everything into context when you're watching these shows. Like a lot of people watch cartoons just because it's a cartoon. Like my kids watch this cartoon on the Cartoon Network. It is hilarious. It's okay for kids, but there's some adult stuff in it. It's called We Bare Bears. It's just these 3 bears that walk around getting in trouble and all this stuff.
No, I've never haven't seen it.
You wouldn't because you don't have kids. But it's like, at times I'm like, should they be watching We Bare Bears?
I just remember being a kid, if there was something adult that happened, I mean, if it, they'd say, well, you're too young. Well, don't worry about it. That's what I was told.
So
and then,
we'll start watching an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, and then we're like, oh, no, not this one. Or the Ron and Tammy episodes of Parks and Rec.
Oh, my gosh.
Forget about it.
As soon as you see Tammy come into the scene,
I'm
we got to turn it off.
Turn it.
Oh, come on, I want to watch it, Dad. Nope, sorry, not going to happen.
Why do you always turn that episode, Dad? That's because there's a reason. Yeah, there's some shows that you got to really watch out for when it comes to the kids, and they come across as so innocent, but they're not. And Everybody Loves Raymond.
Texted in Futurama. That is one I totally forgot about.
Futurama's a good one.
I love Futurama.
Yeah, Futurama's a good cartoon. Great. And it kind of plays on my same dreams of the future that the Jetsons did. You know, you're like, oh, cool. You know, they have the imagination that goes into futuristic shows is always the fun part of the show to follow.
I think it's funny because I think back in the day when we were kids in the 80s, programmers had to really pay attention to what they were putting on television. But nowadays, with so many different networks, I mean, I don't think it really matters anymore. There's so much stuff catered to kids.
Well, and the rating system is a fallback. You know, you're like before they're like, okay, we have to make a show that the family could sit down and watch. Now with the rating system, they're like, hey, TV 14, you know, I mean, it's on you if you stumble across the Ron and Tammy episode.
Like Mike said, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Get Smart, Welcome Back, Kotter, Laugh-In, Mary Tyler Moore. I mean, all those shows were family friendly, all ages friendly. But you don't see shows that are released in primetime that are like that anymore. Hi, thanks for hanging on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell him what's my opinion on your use of the word retarded this morning on the air. Okay,
yes. I actually, somebody wrote in earlier, and I apologize to them. We were quoting a television show, something that somebody said in a TV show, and like I said to them, it felt awkward when it came out, and so I'm very sorry if it offended you, and we're not going to do it again.
It was.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that good?
He was quoting dialogue from The Office, is how it went down, and Kevin used the word in the dialogue in The Office because it was central to the story plot, and we were quoting the story plot.
I understand 100% that you guys are quoting a story. I've seen The Office. I've watched the show. I've seen a million shows and movies with that word in it. It doesn't make it okay to say.
Well, and we were.
I don't care if you're quoting a show. I don't care if you're quoting the president. It doesn't make it okay to say.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling in. Yeah, like I said,
appreciate the feedback.
I appreciate the feedback 100%.
I don't think that it's fair to say that Jeremy was using it in a derogatory fashion when he was just quoting Kevin from The Office. You see where we're coming from on this?
And the quote wasn't used in a derogatory fashion.
The quote was not in the dialogue on The Office. It was not.
Was it used to say anything other than, was it used in a way to call somebody stupid or idiotic? Or to call something wrong?
He was saying, do you think I'm retarded?
We don't write the show.
Which the boss did think he was retarded. So in context, it was what it was.
All I'm saying, gentlemen, is pick your quotes better.
Okay. And I understand that. And Jeremy was just saying, recanting a funny scene on The Office, and that's what was said. And he said he felt awkward after saying it, and we'll keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind moving forward.
Do you want me to apologize? Because I will apologize to you for offending you. I am very sorry, and I'm sorry that I offended anybody else. And I tried to explain that earlier and to somebody else, and they got mad and hung up. But I'm glad you stuck around on the phone. I hope you understand that it's sincere. Okay.
All right.
Are we good?
Better, guys.
Are we good?
Yeah, just do better, guys. Come on.
Okay, we will.
I don't know. I don't think that we were doing terrible there. I mean, the thing is, it wasn't like you were calling people that. It was you were quoting dialogue from a TV show. Listen, I understand the society we live in.
Certain people are upset. You know, they're looking for a fight all the time, and it doesn't matter what I say or how I say it. They're just going to be mad, and you can't change their opinion. So.
I know, but I mean, I know we all felt weird when you said it, and I guess that speaks volumes to the society that we live in. But at the end of the day, you were literally quoting dialogue from a television show.
Yeah. No, that's it. And, my brother was special needs growing up, and I know we hated that word, and I feel bad that sometimes we do this show, we get into the moment, and, we're just having fun here, and, we're just talking with friends, and, but yeah, that's an offensive word to a lot of people, and I didn't mean to upset people that much. I mean, seriously, we've had a text, we've had a couple of calls, we have more callers now. I'm down to take these.
Go ahead. I think it bears noting that every time I watch The Office, if I watch 4 or 5 episodes, there's at least one thing that happens in one of those 4 or 5 episodes that tells me that this show, as funny as it is, could not be made in 2020.
No.
Because of the sensitive climate that we live in.
Hi, go ahead. What did you want to say?
Hello, this is a COVID conservative calling in. I wanted to lighten the mood a little bit.
Okay.
We still live in America, correct? This isn't the socialist country of Biden yet. And I wanted to clarify, there's still such thing as freedom of speech. I'd stand up for your right to go ahead and talk about whatever you feel like there, buddy.
Well, I appreciate that, but yeah,
we're just quoting a TV show.
It wasn't even. I was just
still not that big of a deal. I mean, it was quoting a character.
Totally agree.
As if
totally agree.
We were doing a play on radio, poorly be it. We were doing a play on radio where we were quoting the funny nuances of a script.
Thank you for the call in. I appreciate it. And we don't need to get into freedom of speech and all that kind of stuff. I understand that we do this job and we're here to be somewhat of a comedy show. Or this isn't something that people should take serious. But at the same time, if we offend people, I don't want to do that.
Jeremy was just doing what he does best, and that is taking other people's work and making it his.
Thank you, Jeff. All right. When we come back, we'll give away $20 to go to Federico's Fresh Mac. Jeff and Jeremy here. It's KZOZ online at KZOZ.com. We're doing Know the Show. Earlier, Jeff brought up a list of the most, the most important sitcom of all time.
It said it was the most important sitcom of all time. Seth, if you were to say what was the most important sitcom of all time, what would you say?
Important,
yeah. We're dealing with scholarly stuff here, like important sitcoms.
Oh, like that important?
No, I don't know.
I don't know why... I don't know. The Cosby Show came to mind. I don't even watch TV. I never watched it, but it was everybody really focused on it at the time.
Yeah.
But now with Bill Cosby being removed from life, I guess you can't say that.
You talk about a swing, man.
Yeah. So our question was, according to Ranker.com, what was the most important sitcom of all time? We were talking about our top 5.
Second choice would be White Shadow. So
we want to know what Ranker said the number 1 most important sitcom of all time was. If you know that, call in now. And we'll give you $20 to Federico's 805-543-3693.
You got a call coming in from Spam Risk.
Oh, yeah, that's my cell phone.
Spam Risk.
I get those, every
Sounds
day.
Sounds like a good band name.
Too bad we didn't have that on the studio line.
Yeah.
Spam Risk would be nice.
Johnny, sorry, you got to call in. Hi, go ahead.
Hey, what about MASH?
It wasn't MASH. MASH was on the list.
It was top 5. I want to say it was 3 on that list.
I mean, when you think of impactive but important, I'm not sure what that means really.
There was 4 on that list.
Hi, good morning. What is your name?
Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. What was the Ranker number 1 most important sitcom of all time?
All in the Family.
No. It wasn't All in the Family. All in the Family is on the list at number 19.
All right, thanks for the call.
Most important.
It was on all of our top 5s, and it was pretty obvious.
What, the most important?
Well, you know the answer. It's really obvious.
It wasn't in my top 5. It wasn't in your top 5.
Yes, it was.
I've never seen it.
I said it was tough between
that
and
means
The
it's
Office.
old, right, Cameron?
No.
Be my number 1.
I think you don't know what the number 1 is. Of the most important of all time.
Oh, okay. Hi, good morning. What is it? Oh, that's right. It was number 3.
Hey.
Okay.
It's I Love Lucy.
Yes,
it was I Love Lucy.
I'm sorry, you're right,
Come
Jeff.
on, people. You got to listen to the show, man.
Well,
you got to know the show.
People don't necessarily listen.
No, they just don't know.
They hear it. They don't listen to it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
that works for you, man. You got $20 to go down and try Federico's new Fresh Max, okay?
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right. Hold on the line. Don't go anywhere.
Lucy, I'm home.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking it was Seinfeld, but that was number 3.
Came in number 3, yeah.
Babaloo.
How important is Seinfeld, though?
Higher up.
Well, what made this so important? Was there criteria or just the fact that people still watch it today?
It really isn't important. It was just Ranker, so that means.
Well, why did they just say the
opinion.
number 1 sitcom, not
Right,
most important.
exactly. So when you phrase it, the most important sitcom of all time, when people go to vote on it, they're just automatically going to say, well, that one's my favorite, that one's not my favorite, that one's my favorite, that
what's
one's
your
not my favorite.
favorite? Don't say what's the most important. I don't know.
Most important
to watch now that, there's nothing to watch.
Hey, it's what's most important to people.
Oh, people. Oh, I didn't know people were involved in this. Oh, okay.
People.
All right, that
God.
explains it.
That
explains it. Thanks, Lucy. That's explaining.
Hey, buddy, what are your top 5? Your top favorite sitcoms?
Oh, shoot.
Not on the spot here.
Seinfeld is definitely up there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all right. You don't have to get them all. I just figured it would be rude if I didn't ask
1 out of 5
you.
ain't bad. That's 20%. Thanks for.
Well, ask 1, not 5.
Contributing. Thanks for contributing 20% to the show.
All right, hold back. I'll put you back on hold. Don't hang up. We got to get your
ones that weren't
address.
mentioned that I'm kind of surprised weren't mentioned, especially because everybody talking about it for the most part all worked at radio stations. WKRP in Cincinnati.
Well, that would be a bit self-serving, wouldn't it?
It would be self-serving.
I watched it when I was a kid.
Jeremy brought up Frasier.
I was there when it started.
Frasier's a radio show.
Yeah, he's a radio host.
That's radio talk. That's not radio. Anybody can talk.
What do we do then? We just push buttons.
No, you got music in between for the entertainment.
Oh, I see. So, yeah.
Which sitcom did you watch most as a kid?
Like what age? Like little kid? Like that'd be cartoons.
Like between the ages of 6 and 10. Because that's what I was raised by the TV because my dad decided to leave the house.
Well, mine would probably be like the Monkeys, who like religiously.
Bewitched.
Other than that, nothing.
Monkeys wasn't on that long, was it?
No,
it was like a few seasons.
Yeah. Was it
Mork and Mindy? I watched
Mork and Mindy
all the way up through the Jonathan Winter years.
Yes, I did.
Okay,
because it was on.
Yeah,
it was on. It was on, and Three's Company was on.
Brady Bunch, a lot of Brady Bunch.
There was a lot of Brady Bunch.
Home Improvement later on. My Muff Cakes just right in Home Improvement, but watched some I Love Lucy. A lot of Nick at Night, man. That was a great channel. I wish they wouldn't have got rid of
I watched Star Trek, but I think by the time I got into it, it was already reruns, like late 60s.
I only watched Star Trek as a kid. I never watched it after I turned.
And I don't watch all the other ones. I've never watched it. It's always Kirk and Spock and those guys. That's the only Star Trek I.
What about you, Cameron? What were you watching 3 years ago?
Before the shutdown.
One I forgot to mention is a HBO show called Silicon Valley.
Yes, I'm surprised nobody brought that one up because that is funny and a lot of people way.
Not everybody's got premium cable.
True.
I love how you can tell the exact moment when all of the writers started hating TJ Miller.
Bit of a shift.
Because he was the star.
Well, yeah, he was in, I don't know if you guys know anything about him behind the sines, but he is apparently a humongous ass.
Oh, yeah. It's like pissing off the cook, he's going to get you.
And there's TJ Miller's problems have been widely reported. I mean, I know he got in a fight with an Uber driver once that was giving him a ride. I mean, you've got to be nice to the Uber driver, right?
Well, you got to be nice to the writers. They'll write you. Yeah, they'll write you out.
True, but the driver is the one that should get the most of the polite attitude, only because.
I'm sorry, I meant writer.
Writer. Oh, anyway. The driver of the Uber is the one that is going to get you from point A to point B. So if you jump into the Uber right away and you start being a jerk, they've got all the power. I mean, it's like fighting with your wife, really.
Car goes, car stops.
She's got all the power. You're not going to win that argument,
right?
Did you take the locks off the back doors just for fun?
Worst case scenario, you could open the door and push them out on the freeway.
Going 55.
I mean, if you really piss off the driver, be nice to the driver.
You have an ejector seat back there.
Don't forget, you're going to get your picks in Thursday night football tomorrow. I think that it should be a pretty good game.
Who is it?
Red Zone Challenge.
Seahawks Thursday nights?
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I hear
Cardinals are good.
The Seahawks to lose for
12th
second straight week.
No, I'll pick the Seahawks to win.
I think I might pick them to lose a second straight week.
No, they're going to win tomorrow.
No Tyler Lockett.
No, that's not true. It's a game time decision, bro.
Is it his number 3 playing
Tyler
quarterback?
Lockett with a bad knee. Last time he caught 200 yards passing from
Who's the quarterback?
For the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
Well, then they have a chance, right?
Yes, they always
and don't you those
He's
teams
been playing
that,
really bad.
That really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's got
no
9
more
interceptions
MVP talk?
in the
What's
last
going
3
on?
games.
He's matched Kirk Cousins' interceptions for the year in the last 2 games.
Well, that's
Pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. But after a game like that, sometimes they get pissed off and they come back and take it out on the next team. But
my
and
thing
Arizona
is,
is so up and down.
real quick, this is why I think they're going to win, because I think the Rams defense is a lot tougher than people give them credit for.
Yes.
And I think the Cardinals defense is going to be almost not a walk in the park. But yeah, it's almost like I remember what our junior varsity coach would do. He would have us do one practice on Thursday before or Wednesday before we would play a game on Friday. So, and because Thursday was a walkthrough, but Wednesday we would go up against varsity, and we get our asses just handed to us to get us ready to walk out there and kick some butt against another JV team. So I'm hoping that the Seahawks will be ready, because they played a really tough team and they'll have a little bit easier time on offense.
So if they play a JV team, they ought to win. Then is that what I think that was the point of your conversation?
Yeah, hopefully,
good.
Hopefully Arizona fields their JV team.
You never know; things can change.
What's under a Cardinal?
And who's their quarterback? Oh, it's Kyler Murray, isn't it? Yeah. I can't keep track. Everybody, even if they're not injured, it's like they could be sick. So who knows?
Coming up, Seth, some Foreigner.
That's what makes it so hard to pick the games, really. It really does.
They literally can change day to day.
Yeah, because, look what happened to the Niners a couple weeks ago when everybody was wiped off the roster.
You mean your almost defending Super Bowl runner-up 49ers? Yeah. Hard to remember that.
Whitney will be on tomorrow, too. See, they've got this real cool raffle thing they're doing downtown. Could make for some great Christmas gift items. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars that you can win. I know she'll get us up to date on that. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at 6.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.